morning. Ella told me to talk loud so she could hear me. This is scary for me, but I remember Brother David's words on fear the other day, the other Sunday. I want to start off by saying I am blessed beyond measure and certainly more than I deserve. As a child growing up, I always wanted to know how my family got to where they were. My dad was a farmer and a sawmill worker in North Alabama and Tennessee. Then he came to Mobile and worked in the shipyard the first time. After Mobile, he went back to Tennessee and farmed, and he went to North Alabama and did the sawmill job. And something took him to Detroit, Michigan to be an auto worker. And then Detroit car manufacturers went on strike, and he decided that he had family in West Texas, so he would go to West Texas. Had his bus ticket, was in line to get on the bus, and they announced the strike was over. All the auto workers could go back to work. He said, well, I've never been to West Texas, never, done that. So he just had his ticket, he'd just go. So he went to West Texas and was a roustabout in the oil fields during the boom there. And he came back to Mobile, worked at the shipyard again, and then wound up at the International Paper Company and spent 38 years before he retired there. So I said all of that to tell you how I got to Theodore. Eddie was, and still is in the paper and janitorial business, and a vendor who became a very good friend of ours, Joe Wells, told us about a house that his neighbor, who was a house builder, was building in Theodore. We came to see it, we liked it, we bought it. Chuck, our oldest son, was in Christian school at the West End Baptist Church. So we moved over Thanksgiving weekend in 1976. Chris was 6 months old. We needed to get Chuck at school closer to us at home, so I came to check out First Baptist Church's Christian school, Theodore Christian. So that was one of the things that brought us here. The other was that J.A. and Gwen Wells had recently joined First Baptist Church Theodore and said, oh, you got to come visit with us. We didn't have a church home at that time. So that's how, between our neighbor and the Christian school here, that's how we got to Theodore. For the 40 plus years that we have been here, I have been nurtured, loved, made friends, brothers and sisters in Christ that I did not have, and that will be lifetime friends. They have prayed for us and stood with us, and I have always said First Baptist Church Theodore knew how to multiply and divide, and by that I mean they have multiplied our joys and they have divided our sorrows. This congregation has stood with us at nursery windows and rejoiced with grandchildren's birth, the miracle that God gave us in birth. And they stood with us at open graves and sorrowed with us and comforted us. So that's why I say we now have a multiply and divide. There have been times, as I said, that we stood at nursery windows and open graves. You've been with us in ERs when Chuck had a sports accident. When Chris had an accident in a pool on a Tuesday night together, which was a program we did for our youth in the summer. And so And then most recently, y'all stood and sat with us in waiting rooms for hours while Eddie underwent major surgery and came and visited in hospitals, brought meals and cared for us. And we have been on your hearts, and you have prayed for us. And when Eddie was in the hospital and had his second surgery, Brother David gave me a verse, and it's 2 Corinthians 1:10b, and it says, "On him we have set our hope, that he will continue to deliver us by your prayers. Then many will give thanks on our behalf for the generous favor granted us in answer to the prayers of many." And Eddie's a testimony to the answered prayers that many of you lifted up. And I just want to say that you nurtured us, you loved us as a young Christian family that came in. You gave us a place of service and worship. And it was really hard to decide what I wanted to tell you about other than how y'all have, the church has loved us and cared for us. And there was one other thing that I wanted to say, one other incident. And like I said, it was hard to decide which to tell you about. But the first time that I taught in Vacation Bible School here, it was during the day, and it was a week long. And my brother-in-law, Glenn, who was a co-routeman at the time, was shot and robbed on his route. And the call came into the church office that I needed to come and get my niece and my two nephews. So pick them up from where my sister-in-law had to drop them off when she went to the hospital. So I did. And we were fairly new to the congregation, and I always said it was a big country church. And at that time, we were a lot larger than we are now, but it would have been easy to have gotten lost and think that no one was really aware of us. But it happened on Wednesday, and I brought Shannon and Shane to GAs and RAs and supper, because we had Wednesday night suppers then. And so many people told me they were praying for him, for the family, and inquiring about him. So as being a fairly new member, that told me that we weren't lost here and that people were aware. And I will always remember that. And then, like I said, all the other times. And again, I'll say, you've had us on your heart, and you've prayed for us, and you've prayed us through some experiences, life experiences. But again, I will tell you how very blessed I am. And I consider it one of God's greatest blessings to be a member of this church. Thank you.